Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about the national and state sports betting reports. We discuss launches. I guess you also got to say we discuss openings, because not only are there launches, but there are openings of retail books from different places around the country.
And one in a restaurant, too.
Yes.
Which was shocking to me.
That was an interesting one.
Strange, but okay.
We've got some more stats coming out of Louisiana from GeoComply.
Okay.
A lot of deals to talk about, a lot of legislation that occurred over the past week. And you would think with the Super Bowl this past week, a lot of stuff would be focused more on the game than anything else. But I have to admit, there was a flurry of activity right before the game where books opened.
Well, it was a bad dash to get the, Super Bowl money,
Yeah, I guess so.
You had to get the Super Bowl
on the
money.
retail side.
I mean, if you're not doing the Super Bowl or March Madness or like World Series or big events like that, you might as well take your time and open it up whenever you want. But if you want to make the big money, you have to hit these big sports betting events.
Well,
nothing's bigger than the Super Bowl.
You got to make the distinction. We're talking retail.
Well,
because
I'm thinking
online,
anything.
I know some of other books launched online, but really for the retail books, the Super Bowl was the key for a lot of the retail side of activity. But we did have a lot of benchmarks over the last month here. New York became the 11th state. New York's a monster.
Yeah,
already it's a monster. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens after March Madness, to see what happens with that market. Because right now it's all about customer acquisition.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were saying, what were they, the 11th state of what?
11th state to clear $2 billion all-time handle.
God.
And they've only been around for, 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
5 weeks? Is it 5 weeks now?
Well, this was at the end of January.
Yeah, okay. All right. But unbelievable.
They joined New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Illinois, Indiana, Colorado, Michigan, Tennessee, Virginia, and Iowa to pass the $2 billion in all-time handle mark.
Wow.
It's amazing when you sit there and you talk about on all-time handle, and you're only discussing a couple of weeks, really. In the grand scheme of
I'm
things.
trying to figure out what their yearly take will be. I mean, it's just blowing my mind right now what they're doing over the past couple of 4 or 5 weeks. Can you imagine 52 weeks when they total that one up?
Again, I honestly think you got to see a decline. I mean, there's no way you can maintain this level of activity.
Hey,
I mean,
I hope
you're
they
going
do.
to ebbs and flows. No,
I'm sure there's going to be lulls and things like that. But I mean, yeah, but their lull will be some other state's high. That's how incredible these numbers are. Even their lowest day will probably be the best day for a smaller state.
One of their weeks can match a state's
sure,
high. I mean, you're talking, if you compare New York to states like Rhode Island,
New Hampshire, yeah,
South Dakota, which doesn't really have too much sports betting other than in their casinos in Deadwood, you're looking at probably New York is going to constantly be greater than some of those other states. I don't know what the competition is going to be like between New Jersey, Arizona, Nevada, even Michigan. Michigan is doing well too, but nothing like what New York has been doing. Speaking of, we just talked about all these other states. Illinois passed the $7 billion mark in handle in 2021 for yearly handle. $7 billion.
That's incredible, yeah.
See, that's another one where it's going
and
to be...
And New York is going to blow that one away.
Yeah, in yearly handle. Yeah. They had over $780 million in sports betting handle in December alone. and December was the state's third consecutive month with more than $780 million in handle.
Great. I mean, that's another big population state. I mean, Chicago. I mean, you're going to get a lot of bettors from Chicago, and there's other big towns in Illinois too. So, population size is key.
Well, Illinois became the third best market in 2021. In December of 2021, New York and New Jersey were 1 and 2 respectively. Then you had Pennsylvania and Michigan 4 and 5.
Oh my God! Well, where's Nevada at in all this?
Don't know.
Oh boy! Hello, Nevada. Is anyone there, Nevada?
You got to think with Illinois. Illinois is going to drop that in-person registration requirement too.
Well, that's great. You have to. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You want people to bet online, and so don't make it hard for them to register. If you're going to let them complete the registration process online. If you're going to go online, go full boat online and allow them to register online.
I'm just wondering. I've always
By the way,
seen...
if no one knows what I'm talking about, a lot of states have this. Well, Illinois and Nevada used to have this. Nevada still has it, right?
Yes.
They're still stupid enough to have it. That when you register for an online and mobile sports book, you register, but then you have to go and physically travel to a retail sports book in order to complete your registration process. And that's silly and stupid and ridiculous and crazy.
Well, the one thing I've noticed, and I've always read these reports, everybody's reported on it, I've seen the reports themselves, regarding the Nevada in-person registration. From what I've been understanding, no one's asked for it to be waived.
Because everyone likes it when they walk in the door. They want to get people inside the properties.
And now without the mask mandate, hopefully they get some.
That's great.
What was it? We were listening to. I don't know what we were listening to the other day, where somebody said that they're now planning trips to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas because the mask mandate was lifted.
Okay, well that's weird, but whatever.
Well, they weren't going to go with the mask.
Okay, well,
so now a whole bunch of people have changed plans to do the to go to the Super Bowl. I guess this is going to be a really big thing for March Madness coming up for Nevada.
Oh yeah, I would think so. I mean, everything was declining anyway, so every state was getting rid of their mask mandates. So I don't think there was going to be any masks anywhere for March Madness. But I guess in time for the Super Bowl, I guess Nevada wanted that to happen, which is fine. I mean, the numbers are trending in the right direction. So hopefully this thing is behind us, the worst is behind us, and we can move on. But a lot of people are very happy with the mask mandate gone.
Well, speaking of moving on, Indiana reported their January numbers, and they had a couple records. This is January now. We just finished Illinois. They're still in December. This is Indiana, January of 2022.
Illinois is in December.
Right.
Indiana is giving
January
out
2022.
January. Okay. They really got to get on the same thing. All these states have to get on the same schedule. I mean, keeping track of these is crazy because one state is, the last month, another state's 2 months ago. What's the one that really is back behind? Is it Arizona? Arizona really is a couple months behind. So,
well, okay. Regardless of that, do you want the benchmark for Indiana or do you want the records?
Indiana. Give me the Indiana
benchmark
January numbers. Okay, well, give me the benchmark first, then give me the record.
And this was because of the January numbers.
Okay.
Indiana became the fifth state behind New Jersey, Nevada, Illinois, Pennsylvania to surpass $500 million in gross operator revenue.
Wow, that's great. You would never think Indiana because you don't think of, big cities in Indiana and a lot of population. But, apparently they love their sports betting and they're really throwing down some money there.
I'm actually waiting to see what the Colts do with sports betting. I know they have some deals in place, but I don't think they've actually done anything with like a sports betting lounge or anything like that.
Yeah, they probably will.
At some point they have to.
There's too much money in it.
But regarding their records... Here's another benchmark. There was two today.
Two benchmarks. Okay.
Indiana became the seventh state, joining New Jersey, Nevada, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and New York, to post a $500 million monthly handle. They had a handle of 500 million,
which I'm assuming
in January.
Which I'm assuming is another record. Is a record for Indiana, a state record for Indiana.
The total handle over 500 million was a record.
Okay.
They also did a mobile record.
Okay.
465.5 million.
Okay.
Never been that high before. That was about 94% of the total handle.
Well,
that goes to the mobile is king kind of.
Oh, absolutely. Statement. I don't. What is it? Mississippi? They have retail sportsbook and no mobile sportsbooks.
They have mobile in at least one of the casinos. Right
okay. Now. All right. Only on that property.
Right. And the legislation that was proposing mobile sports betting statewide failed.
Unbelievable.
Couldn't get it out of committee.
Unbelievable. Mobile's king. Mobile's king.
Well, again, there's a lot of people who are against it, especially down south.
Casino owners are against it because they want people walking in on their property. That's what it is.
Well, speaking of down south, Louisiana, like I teased at the beginning of the book report, GeoComply released a couple more stats on the launch of Louisiana, and this was the failed sign-in attempts, failed betting attempts from people outside the legal geolocation area.
Oh, that's interesting. So people who were outside the geolocation. Well, Louisiana is kind of weird because some parishes allow mobile sports betting. Some parishes don't allow mobile sports betting. And when I say parish, I mean counties in any other state.
Yeah, I think it's 54 or 59, something like that allow it.
So I'm assuming people from parishes who live in where the parish doesn't allow mobile sports betting tried to bet in a parish that allows.
Not just the parishes.
Okay. Out of state. Huh?
Yes. Just so everyone's clear, if and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this understand what I'm going to say right now. When GeoComply releases data on a map, they have geolocation pinpoints of where the sports betting transactions legally occurred, and then they have the red pinpoints where sports betting transactions tried to occur, but they're not legal.
So you're saying they're tracking people out of the state?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I assumed it was people from parishes that were trying to bet, and the parish didn't allow sports betting.
Not only.
Okay. So what was
geolocation fails?
So what was their statistics?
They had geolocation fails located in Texas, Mississippi, and the parishes where it was illegal to do some sports betting.
Texas, huh?
Well, that's where a lot of people are coming from to bet in Louisiana. They're saying East Texas is crossing over into Louisiana.
Apparently they're not crossing over far enough.
Well, a lot of people don't want to leave there. Well, they
tough.
sign up for it and they go back home.
Hey, Texas, vote your politicians in who allow. By the way, who allow casinos. They don't even have casinos.
Well, they can't
in Texas.
They don't have anything on the schedule for 2022. The next time they can start talking about legalizing gambling and also sports betting is 2023.
That's what I mean. You might want to check with your politicians to see who's allowing what. I mean, first they got to get casinos, which I assume they're going to get pretty soon. They have to. I mean, I can't believe Texas doesn't have any casinos. They're having problems with their poker rooms. They're shutting them down in Dallas. And now, sports betting. You actually have to physically travel to another state to sports bet. Well, and it looks like some of them aren't even going into another state.
If really nothing changes between now and the next legislative session, which is in 2023, sports betting at the earliest in Texas could occur in 2025.
Okay.
So we're a couple years away from Texas. I mean, for casinos, a lot of people in Texas go up to, WinStar up in Oklahoma, and they just cross over some of the borders and go to the next state over. They're used to doing that. Now for sports betting, now they can cross over into Louisiana.
Louisiana. Apparently people from Texas thought they can stay in Texas and just log in.
Or maybe they got close to the border and thought they would be fine. Same thing with Mississippi. Mississippi, you just said it. They don't have statewide mobile betting, so they're trying to do things too.
Yeah.
And there's a demand for.
And by the way,
it's a revenue maker for states.
It's a good indication, Mississippi, Texas, you're losing money. You're losing money to Louisiana. The same problem was a couple years ago before New York got mobile sports betting. They came into New Jersey, and apparently New Jersey's handle was 20% of derived from the people who traveled from New York. So if you don't have mobile sports betting, you're just losing money. You're losing money to your neighbor state.
Well, again, it's a matter of, I don't know the thinking behind some of this because I'm not against any of it. I don't know the background of the positions these guys take when they oppose sports betting.
Look, for Mississippi, you got sports betting already.
Yeah.
You might as well do the whole thing, Go the whole way, Texas got to get their act together in so many ways before they have sports betting, so.
Or you can do what's going on in Pennsylvania and open a sports book in a restaurant.
That's unbelievable. I just love that. Chickies and Pete's, which is a local chain around here in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and also in Atlantic City.
Well,
there's a couple. Well, I know, but they're in Atlantic City, but they're usually around the Philadelphia area and western side of New Jersey.
There's like 20, 25.
I didn't know there was that
locations.
many,
Yeah,
but
something like that. Yeah,
but it's no, it's a great restaurant. It's a sports bar. I think it's been voted best sports bar by Sports Illustrated. I don't know how many years. And now they actually I don't know where Malvern is. I know it's in Chester County. I'm not even sure where that is. But now they actually have a sports book. And when I say sports book, I don't mean just kiosks, right? They have tellers.
They have 4 tellers.
Yeah, they have windows.
And multiple kiosks.
They have windows.
It's actually located in a room adjacent to the bar and restaurant.
It's great.
You can actually sit at the bar and look at the sports book.
It's outstanding. I love it. We have a Chickies and Pete's pretty close to us in Bordentown, New Jersey. And I was like, whoa, why don't they do that here?
Historic Bordentown.
It would be great.
Chickies and Pete's can make it historic for another reason. If they put a sports book in that one.
I would love it. Do Bordentown next.
But again, this is not their first attempt at this. They tried to do a sports book in the Chickies and Pete's in South Philly, and that was turned down. So the Malvern is a brand new Chickies and Pete's location. It's attached to, or it's near the Parks mini casino out there.
Okay.
So
again, I have
by the way, Chickies and Pete's and Parks have a great working relationship.
Yeah.
And anywhere you see Chickies and Pete's, there's going to be a Parks mentioned somewhere along the, even the ones that are anywhere near Parks casinos.
Yeah. I don't even know, like I said, I'm checking where Malvern is. I don't, I'm in New Jersey now, and I still don't know where Malvern is. So.
Well, while you're looking up the Malvern location.
I'm looking at the Malvern.
The Chickies and Pete's location for the sports book, they had a soft opening on February 9th of last week. So they're up and running just in time for the Super Bowl. Also in Pennsylvania, PointsBet Sportsbook launched.
Okay.
So that is now the 10th state for PointsBet where they're operating. Besides Pennsylvania, they're in Michigan, New York, New Jersey, Iowa, Illinois, Colorado, Indiana, West Virginia, and Virginia. Mm-hmm. Speaking of openings,
they're about 10 miles from Newtown.
Yeah.
Newtown is
it's not that far from
Newtown is a really great place in Pennsylvania. If you want to know what Newtown looks like, go take a look at M. Night Shyamalan's Signs with who's in that? Mel Gibson. Yeah.
Where they're having the pizza.
It was actually filmed in Newtown, so it's
on the main street.
So Malvern, I would guess, is about 10 miles from Newtown.
The majority of that movie was filmed in Bucks County.
Yeah.
Speaking of openings, we have the permanent sports book opened up in the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
The Fanduel Sportsbook, they did their soft opening on February 10th at 9 a.m. The one thing I like about this sports book, and it reminds me a lot about the Borgata in Atlantic City, it's a sports book and a race book still.
Good.
You don't see that paired up too often in a lot of places. There's not a lot of race books.
So where is this? This is Mohegan Sun?
This is the Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
This is the brand new permanent Fanduel Sportsbook.
I always get Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods mixed up because they're about 10 minutes away from each other, right?
Well, Foxwoods has the 2-story DraftKings.
Yeah. That one's already open, right?
That was open a while ago.
Okay.
This is the brand new Fanduel Sportsbook, which, judging by the renderings that I've seen in some of the pictures, it's huge. But it's one floor.
Okay.
It actually reminds me of the one in the Meadowlands. You know the bar?
Yep.
The Fanduel bar there? That one. So very similar in build and structure like that. So if you like the one in Meadowlands, you're going to like the one in Mohegan Sun.
Great.
Another big launch was Puerto Rico.
Yes, I saw that.
BetMGM is the first sports book to launch in Puerto Rico at the Casino Del Mar of the La Concha Resort Hotel in Condado.
Now,
I had to read that because I could not remember all those words.
Now, is that the officially first licensed sports book in
Retail
Puerto Rico?
book, yes.
Retail, okay.
Yes. They don't have mobile yet.
Well,
it's
then
a retail book.
Well, then it's officially
Okay,
the first
you wanna
sports
say
book
that-
of any kind.
I've actually learned to make a distinction now.
Okay.
So, and again, there's no distinction when there's no other books, mobile or retail otherwise. WinBet, we just talked about Louisiana a little bit. WinBet launched in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
We have Caesars doing a deal with a couple of the tribes in Washington State to launch retail sports betting. As a matter of fact, one book opened on the Thursday before the Super Bowl, and another one opened up on the Friday before the Super Bowl in two different locations. And I just want to make sure I get these right here. Yep. The Caesars Entertainment partnered with the Muckleshoot Casino, the Spokane Tribe Casino, and its sister property, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Chelawa Casino, for in-person sports betting. They're planning on launching mobile sports betting at some point, but those locations have retail betting. They opened up one after the other, Thursday then a Friday.
You know, I hope someone does a survey of all the sports books that have either launched or opened up retail right before the Super Bowl, like 7 days before the Super Bowl. I'm just hearing all these openings, all these launches, and it looks like they were really aiming for the Super Bowl, which is fine, which is a good business move. But I'm just curious to see how many actually launched like within a week of the Super Bowl.
Well, speaking of deals that happened before the Super Bowl, we have the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation making the very first deal with the NFL in Canada.
Okay.
The Ontario Lottery and Gaming and Proline, which is its online platform for sports betting, were named an official retail lottery and sportsbook partner of the NFL in Canada.
Okay.
Rush Street announced a deal between their Bet Rivers Louisiana sportsbook and the NBA's New Orleans Pelicans.
A lot of Louisiana news.
Louisiana's the brand new market.
Boy.
Rush Street also introduced two brand new ambassadors. You have local media guy Jimmy Ott, very popular guy down there.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Former NFL wide receiver and Louisiana native Brandon Stokely.
Oh, okay. I remember Brandon Stokely.
Going up the country a little bit, we have Fubo Gaming doing a market access agreement with the Cleveland Cavaliers, making Fubo Sportsbook an official mobile sports betting partner of the team when sports betting does launch in Ohio. They already have a deal with the Cavaliers in place for Fubo Gaming.
Okay.
And also Fubo TV. Also, Fubo Gaming announced it secured market access agreements for the Fubo Sportsbook in Mississippi, Louisiana, Missouri through a deal with Caesars Entertainment. The sportsbook is live in Iowa and Arizona currently right now. They're doing a Road to New Jersey promo as we're speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they're doing some kind of tweet, if you retweet it and you're a member of the sportsbook or something like that, you can be entered into a drawing for a Jets jersey.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, do we have a code for Fubo?
BetFlash.
BetFlash. Yeah, sign up using BetFlash.
That's Iowa right now.
Iowa, yeah. Sign up using BetFlash.
You bet 20, you get $150 plus a free month of Fubo TV, which, by the way, I do highly recommend. Fubo TV is great.
I love Fubo TV. That is just great.
BetMGM renewed its deal with the NHL for BetMGM and MGM as official sports betting and resort partners with the league. Entain bought Avid Gaming. There's no other way to say that. They bought it. Avid Gaming runs the sports betting website Sports Interaction in Canada, which is, according to a lot of people, one of the biggest sports betting sites in Canada, longest running, very respected brand up there.
Seems like a lot of news out of Louisiana and Canada now.
Well, Canada is getting close to their launch.
Yeah.
Canada's getting close to their launch. Betway did a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, multi-year partnership, naming Betway as the official gaming and betting sponsor for the team. The deal includes digital assets, some signage deals. We had an interesting deal with PlayUp. PlayUp announced an agreement with the Panther City Lacrosse Club of the National Lacrosse League, designating PlayUp as Panther City founding partner, fantasy sports partner, and esports partner. It's unusual to see an esports partnership thrown into these deals.
By the way, I checked out National League lacrosse. It's pretty good. I saw the Philadelphia and Baltimore, I think, were playing. It was pretty good.
I don't know how many teams are in it. So.
I don't know. Yeah, no, but I know. I'm it was one of those things. I'm flipping through the TV. I was like, oh, hey, lacrosse is on. So I watched about an hour of lacrosse.
Speaking, I think we even referenced it, or I referenced it earlier, South Dakota. South Dakota State Senate passed a proposal narrowly that would allow voters to approve statewide mobile sports betting on the 2022 ballot that's coming up in November. If that's passed by the House, it'll be on the ballot for people to actually vote on getting it out of just Deadwood casinos.
Great.
Because right now it's just stuck in Deadwood.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people would like it outside Deadwood a little bit.
Yeah, I would guess.
So, and one last note, Bally's. On January 25th, the chairman of Bally's actually made an offer to buy out everybody else from Bally's and take it private.
Okay.
So Bally Corporation has formed a special committee, and they're going to be reviewing and evaluating the proposal from Standard General, which is Soo-Young Kim's, who's the Bally Corp chairman. That's his company, and he's the managing partner of Standard General. So they're going to be examining that deal that was on the table, or the offer that's on the table, to see exactly whether or not Bally's can go private.
Oh.
So it'll be interesting to see, what happens with that.
We were just in Bally's in Atlantic City. That's always my fun place. That's just a great place.
Well, there are a lot of other deals to talk about, a lot of legislation to talk about. Again, we're running out of time for this week's episode. If you're watching it on TV, there's these stories that we talked about. There's a whole bunch of other stories in the ticker running by on the bottom of the screen. Please check that out. Also, the print version of the book report will be on the blog about an hour or so after this is published. Go over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button. Also, companies, casinos, anybody, startups, press releases, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. We're inundated every week with press releases and news releases about upcoming events and startups and deals. So please keep sending those in.
Very interesting sport leagues that are emailing us. So I'm not going to say who they are, but very interesting emails. So
yeah, there's a variety of things.
We'll probably get some very interesting interviews coming up pretty soon. So we'll see what happens. Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.